I was creating a character for a game. The character was a mole, and it was supposed to start by emerging from a hole in the ground, attack the player, and then go back into the hole. All of this had to be done in a way that would allow the animation to be cleanly integrated into the game. But how do you make an object with all these shapes simply appear from inside a hole? Well, that's what we're going to see now. The trick is that the mole is actually underneath the hole. But how does it stay hidden from the scene? Because right below the hole, there's an eraser-type object that erases everything that passes through it. See what happens when I select this object and move it to different positions. It erases, or rather, hides everything behind it. After all, it's an eraser. One of the eraser's points touches the edges of the hole as closely as possible, making sure the mole only appears from the hole upward. The hole itself is nothing more than a simple 2D shape that was animated by scaling up and then back down. Inside the shape, I painted a bit of lighting, which gives the impression of a hole receiving some light from outside. But what is that shadow over the mole, making it look like it's actually inside the hole? It's a brush object that I painted and made part of all the objects that make up the mole. I painted it to follow the shape of the hole, which gives the impression that the lower part of the mole is under the shadow of the hole's walls. The most useful tool in this animation was the eraser. But what other ways can we use an eraser in Hole-Arttista? When I have an object selected and start using the eraser, just like with a brush, the eraser is painted only inside that object. It's an object similar to a brush, but unlike a brush, it erases. You can choose different textures, and you can also close its shape instead of leaving it open. Things get even more interesting when we click this button to give the eraser a fill. This means it becomes a shape that erases everything it covers. We can even set the size of the eraser's points to 0 and leave only its shape to do the erasing. If I have an eraser placed on top of multiple objects, it erases everything behind it. And if I have the same eraser inside two different objects, it only erases the parts inside those two objects. The way I found to keep the mole from showing was by using an eraser in front of the hole, making sure not to erase the hole itself, but only the mole. After that, I exported the mole using Hole-Arttista's sprite sheet exporter so that the mole could be imported into the game. And if you enjoyed these tips in this video, don't forget to like and share. It really helps our beloved software, Hole-Arttista.